Big Blue Breakdown Florida postgame show. Your host, Matthew Lyle here. I had to wait a little bit. That one was exciting. I'm still at a loss for words. The way I do, I get provoked into games. When I'm in there, I get invoked. I'm sitting there at the couch. I can't move. I actually got up and moved to the other side when we were up 9 with about a minute left. We started slipping away, so I had to go back and sit on that section of the couch. Yeah, this game. You know, when there was 13 minutes left and we were down, I believe, 11 or 13, I started chunking it in the way you would do it if you were a coach or a player. You say, hey, we're not going to win this all right now. Let me just start chipping back. So I said, if we get 4 minutes, we can be down by 8. If we're at 8 minutes, we can be down by 6. You know, just to kind of keep it in. And then like that, we were down 1. Chris, I'm not sure. I'm obviously doing better than I would have done had we lost, but I'm excited. I'm thrilled right now. No, it may not look like it. It's just, you know, you're down 13 at Florida. You think there's no way we're going to do this. We can't pull this off. So first thing I'm going to start with, I would have been fine with a loss. I'm okay with losing the battle to win the war. I think there's certain things you can gain from a loss, Alabama, Seton Hall, that kind of lights a fire underneath you that a close win wouldn't do. Had Tyler Hero made the shot against Alabama and we would have won by 1, I don't know if we go on this tear that we're on and we see this gelling that we're seeing as a team. But I'm so glad we got that win. Look, I said after the Vanderbilt game, I'm very torn on what I want. I'm in love with this team by now. They have won my heart over. I want to win, obviously, but I want to win in March. So if we ever get to a point where we have to take a road game loss, I'm not okay with it, but I'm okay with it. I don't know. So I don't want to peak too soon. I never want to lose, but I never want to peak too soon. I don't want to be one of those teams. You know, Indiana's playing right now, and they came out of the gate, thought they might be a top 25 team. It definitely was a top 25 team, potentially even a top 15 team, maybe a top 4 seed, and they've lost 7 straight going into at Michigan State. So there's something that definitely can be said to peaking too early. I think Louisville did it. I think a lot of teams do it. Cal's teams typically never do because we're younger teams. We struggle early. The haters come out. The gripes continue, and then by March we're ready to roll. But Keith, biggest win of the year? I don't know yet, but it's big. It's big to go into that hostile crowd to see the leadership. That's what you're going to need as time goes on. One thing I thought was very interesting, if you've ever played high school sports, if you played high school football, one thing you'll notice the teams do is they try to play mind games. They'll leave the grass a little longer on the outside of the lines. They'll do this. I don't know what the specifications of a NCAA Division I rim is, but I don't know if I've ever heard one rattle like Florida's does. And I'm not saying they're cheating. I'm not saying it's wrong. But if they say, hey, you can it's got to have so much give, I felt like those rims had a lot of give. I felt like when you go to Rupp, when you go to Yum Center, when you go to these Final Four stadiums, when you play in these NBA stadiums, I feel like those are sturdy rims. They can take a dunk. They can take shots. They're standard rims. That rim at Florida, even free throws, sounds like you had just heaved a half-court shot. It reminded me of the old days when you'd go to the park and you'd play those double rims. Or you'd go to the park and it'd be a little crooked. You know, if you shot on the crooked side, you were going to get the friendly bounce. I felt like in Florida, with that being their home, they practiced there. I felt that that's what they were. Look, like I said, I'm not saying anything bad. I'm not saying anything negative happened. I'm just saying it just sounded weird. It sounded like one of those hometown gyms. You know, Vanderbilt does their thing. You sit down at the end of the baseline. You got to yell 40 feet. You got to be 30 feet from your coaches. I just felt like Florida, that was their thing. Had a ruckus crowd. The rim had a certain rattle to it. We were missing a lot of shots. Now, I don't want that to be taken away. I don't want that to be miscued. Whatever, I'm sorry. So passionate right now. I think we struggle at times to shoot. But that's just something about that rim. Keith says, you think we split the Tennessee? I hope so. I hope so. I want to win both, obviously, but I think we can get the one in Rupp, and I'm okay with that being that loss that brings us back to earth. You know, let's say we go into there. By that point, we would be, by the time we went to Tennessee, if we had not sustained a loss, we would be, that's great. I love it. But I don't want to go crashing to earth in March. If it takes Tennessee bullying us at Knoxville, I can live with that. I can go to sleep at the end of that game knowing I'm still comfortable with March. You saw it in 2015. Man, 20-0, 10-0, 20-0, 21, 22, 23, 24. By the time you got to game 30, you were in knockout, drag-out fights that typically you really wouldn't care about. The 30th game in March, or the 30th game of the season at Georgia, typically you wouldn't care about. That season you cared about it. So I don't want that pressure. So if it takes a 5-10 point loss to Knoxville or in Knoxville, I can sleep at night with that one. Man, we got it done. I'll be honest with you. You don't give up. You don't give up. You're excited, and this is just an SEC game. I know it's just a conference game. It's not March. It's not a championship game. We'll just move on. I doubt, unless something happens, I doubt we even move up in the rankings. But there's just something about the way that one unfolded made me happy. It hit me in the feels. So I got the Kentucky shirt on. For those who don't know, the way I go, nobody knows because none of y'all really know me. The way I am with my superstition, I don't have a set jersey. I don't have a set shirt. Whatever I start, I can't change if Mojo's going wood. So if I start out in just a regular Nike Golden State Warriors shirt and we go up 20, I can't move. I got to rush the game in this Warriors shirt. If I start the game in a jersey and we start losing by 20, jersey's got to go. I also have the sunglasses out, sun's out, guns out. For those living in this area, yes, it's 57 degrees, but considering 48 hours ago it was 7 degrees, that's a 50-degree turnaround. That's good swimming weather. Looking at this game, though, man, like I said, excited. PJ's leadership took it to the next level. I thought Baker gave us some great minutes. A little concerned about Nick. We talked a little bit last time. I've said this before. When Nick gets to be big, he's one of the best. When Nick has to be good, he gets clumsy. He struggles. I get concerned. I don't know. He made some clumsy plays. They all did. The entire squad did for about 20-minute stretch there. Keldon got blocked 3 times. I said on Big Blue Breakdown on Sunday that I thought Hero was going to go for 30. I thought he looked like he was on pace for it. Got in some foul trouble. I think he finished maybe 18, 19. I haven't looked at the exact numbers yet. Hagens did what Hagens should do, is just be pesky and let the chips fall where they may. Was he hitting big shots? No. Did he look a little distracted all over the place? A little. Kid should be a senior in high school. Kid should be worried about prom. Kid should be trying to find a date right now. He's trying to get Kentucky his 8th national title. But he did what he's supposed to do. He caused havoc. He ran around, got in people's faces. He was, to steal from Dan Dockich, he was stapled to number 2. He did what he was supposed to do. Which I like Dan Dockich. I saw a lot of people, saw these groups, they didn't like Dan Dockich. I like Dan Dockich. I think he tries a little too hard to be the Tony Romo of college basketball. I think he tried too hard to predict everything. He said in 3 possessions, Ashton Hayes was going to make a big key defensive play. These big free throws were the biggest of the game, which they were. I mean, he hit the nail on the head. Or this next possession, Kentucky's going to have a great offensive play. I feel like he's trying to be a little like Tony Romo, but that's what works. Being that guy, being the guy that hit the nail on the head while giving you great breakdown. He gave you great analysis. He gave you great breakdowns. He told you that if we kick the ball in and they double team to kick the ball out or go to the left or go to the right, he did great things. I think he's just trying too hard. But I like Dan Dockich. I saw a lot of people didn't. I don't like Dickie V just because I don't ever know what direction he's going with the discussion. He uses hyperbole where there really shouldn't be any. I don't like Bill Walton because I feel like he's just out of it all the time. I feel like when you watch a UCLA or a Pac-12 game, and he spent the notorious game when he did Michigan State, he spent 20 minutes talking about Bridges, and it wasn't even the Bridges kid that was playing. So, looking at some of the chats here, the team has got some great fight. I think so. And Nick so he does need to play defense, and he does need to rebound. But the problem with his rebounds, if he's trying to rebound against anybody who's half as aggressive or tall or talented as him, he's going to lose it. He's going to lose the ball. We saw it. He came up with 19 rebounds, I think, against Southern Illinois. And then when it came time to play Seton Hall, a team that actually had some bigs, he was fumbling the ball around. Trying to look at some of the performance that we've done here. Just getting tuned in here real quick. So I felt like Reed Travis, I think he had 6 points and 7 rebounds. That may have been some of the biggest 6.7 rebounds you'll see. The points came at a timely manner. They came when you needed them. They came at the right time. He's made his share of mistakes. I said this last time. I think Reed has peaked. I think everybody is finding their way. He's a 24-year-old man. He's an adult. He has found who he's going to be. Tyler Hero, Ashton Hagans, they're still developing, finding what kind of stars, what kind of players they're going to be. Nothing wrong with that. But Reed knows what he is, and it's fine. He performs. Keldon, I like Keldon. I think Keldon is a great teammate. He gets excited for everybody. He could have scored 2 points, but considering where those 2 points come from and how he got those 2 points, will be the most hype player you've ever seen. You just thought he just won the national title. You got to love that. They seem to have a trust and a bond where they can rip each other, where they can. Bill is lost in the 70s. I just don't like when he does a game. I'll turn it. He's got a good voice for it. He does better in NBA games because NBA doesn't get interesting until the end. But in college, it's just a few possessions. College is important. Every possession matters in college. But that Florida game just showed you. They missed 2 free throws. Dan Dawkins said that didn't matter, and they did. Next thing you know, we come down instantly. Lead cut to 5. Next thing you know, lead's 1. Didn't really seem like we get over that hump, but once we did, we never looked back. Man, I said this last time. I'll say this every time I watch it. I need, not as just a fan, not as just a Kentucky guy, I need this Kentucky team to win a national title. Not even just for Kentucky across the shirt, not even for the Big Blue, not even for that, for Tyler Hero, for P.J. Washington, Ashton Hagans, Reed Travis, even E.J. Montgomery, Jamar Baker. I need these guys to win. E.J. Montgomery, like I said, I haven't had a chance to look at the numbers. Didn't do a lot. I feel like there's nothing. I'm okay with that. I feel like I just need to know you didn't mess up. He kind of did there with a flaky foul. Look, I don't think it was a foul. The announcer didn't say it was a foul. Didn't think it was a foul. But the ref called it a foul. That's all that matters. At the end of the day, you have to play. You have to feel the game. What worked? That's one thing I do think that hurt us early on. Everything was falling at Vanderbilt. Everything went in the basket at Vanderbilt. It's okay to come out the game and say, okay, everything's going to be falling this game. That every basket's going to happen this game. But once you realize that this isn't Vanderbilt, that you've lost your shooting stroke, once you realize that this isn't that game, you have to adjust. Florida's a good team. I don't know if they're a tournament team. I definitely don't think they're a second weekend team. So you have to adjust for that because that's how the tournament's going to be. You know, it killed us in 2017 when we played North Carolina, run and gun like a water slide, and then the exact 1 week later, we played a Louisville team that liked to get in a rock fight. That's how the tournament's going to be. You're going to play a Sweet 16. You're going to play a first-round game. You might even play a Final Four game that's back and forth. Everything's falling. You can do no wrong. You're going to win by 20 points. And then you're going to turn around and play a game where you're building houses without all those bricks, and you can't do anything right. So that's something that we have to just keep an eye on. That we pulled it out, we got it out of the fire. I'm thrilled. I thought overall it was a great game. It was one of those games that you learn from. It was one of those games that you take with you and you say, okay, how can we improve? I'm okay with it. I'm excited we'll win. The more I think about it, when I turn on ESPN, I watch those highlights. When I watch SEC now, I'll do nothing but even get more excited. So, like I said, we still got a tough stretch. A lot of talk is just going to continue to get around Tennessee and the SEC. Tennessee, and can we win the SEC? We got at Mississippi State. We got South Carolina that's going to come and try to headbutt us. We got LSU, who's yet to lose a conference game. We're just going to have to keep going. Like I said, I'm currently going to pull up. Let me just look at these numbers here real quick. I mean, we outscored them 36-21 in the second half. That's a darn good game. That's a game that's the type of play that's going to get us. Okay, so I'm looking at P.J. Washington. P.J. Washington, 12 rebounds, 15 points. The man's playing like a maniac. I got to give that's A-plus performance. He made a mistake. He got bullied on certain plays. He looked lost, but he found it. Tore into his team members. That's what we're going to need to get it done in March. Reed Travis, 7 rebounds, 6 points. I talked about it earlier. Those 6 points seem like the most important 6 points you could find. 7 rebounds in a game when it looked like we couldn't buy a rebound, when it looked like they were jumping like ninjas out of everywhere, swinging from the rafters to grab a rebound. He still hung in there, had 7. Ashton Hagans gave you a line you want from your point guard. 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 points. Probably wish those numbers were a little higher, but the way that evens out, he's everywhere. He's playing all over the place. Tyler Hero, 19-6-2. Foul trouble. I said the man's going for 30. And if he didn't have to sit out the last 5 minutes of the first half, if he didn't have to sit out clear halfway through the second half, the man was going for 30. Foul trouble's got him. Look at Keldon Johnson here. 10-8. Like I said, you can't be mad at Keldon. This is not a game I can be mad at Keldon. I thought he was going to give me 20, 25. He gave me 10. But I can't be mad at Keldon. Like I said, as a whole, I think I can give my starters a B-. I give them a B. They did some things. They didn't make many mistakes. Give them a B. Quickly, 7 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. What I'll say about Quickly, and I like this, well, maybe I like this, they were talking about how he struggled. I think he's hit 3 threes in the last 6 games. He's kind of struggled here and there. I don't ever feel like Quickly's struggling. The numbers may say they're struggling, but I don't feel like Quickly's ever struggling. And I'm not saying he's playing great. I'm not saying he must go top 10 in the draft. I'm not saying any of that. But the way that the numbers show that Quickly, for lack of a better term, dropping the ball, his play, at least what I'm seeing, doesn't show that. So I give Quickly a B+, A-. 7 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist tends to beg to differ. Baker, 2 points, 2 assists. I feel like he did more than 2 points. He had some. People always ask, or I hear a lot of people ask with this team, what is Baker's role? What do you expect from Baker? What do you want from Baker? And what I expect and what I want and what I'd like to see is he's our 9th man. Just don't make mistakes. Just don't. How many teams can put in their 9th guy and get actual productivity from him? I said if Baker's best role in this, for us to be a championship team, Baker's role needs to be the guy you put in the final 4 minutes of a quarter or a drive or a half, He doesn't. Maybe he picks up a cheap foul, plays solid defense, gets you a three here and there. That's how you're going to get the best from Baker. And I'll be honest with you, would that have been our ninth best player or really our ninth guy on the roster, on the lineup? Can't complain with that. Yeah, Montgomery, 3 rebounds, 0 points. Nick Richards, 5 minutes and nothing. Nick Richards, I need to see more. Every coach has said it. Cal said it. They've all said it. We got to get something from Nick Richards. We aren't getting anything from Nick Richards right now. We got the win. Great win. I said this earlier. I spent the whole – I was literally sitting there saying we're down 11. If we can do this by 8 minutes and be down 8, if we can do this and be down by 3 at 4 minutes, just kind of keep it a point per minute, we have a chance to win this. But no sooner had I stopped doing that and we were down 1. That's exciting in this team. That's not going to go on a mock draft. That's not going to go in a bracketology. But that's something else. That's something special. And I said this last time, in my heart, this team goes up there with the 17 team with Fox and Monk and Bam, the 15 team with the whole platoon, the 12 squad, the 10 squad, where you have something special. And I don't know who's coming back next year. I don't know who's returning. I don't know who's transferring. I don't know who's going pro. But this nucleus will never be together. And there's some years you're okay with that. 2014, before the run in March, I was okay with that. 2013, couldn't end soon enough. 2011, you didn't know. Before the run, you thought there was something because every conference loss we had outside of Georgia was by 2 or 3 points, on the road anyway. That was the only place we lost. Like they were just by 2 points. They were running these plays. They had these last-second shots. It felt like a long version of what we got this year with Bama, except it was like every road game up until Florida. And you didn't really know what to think of the team. That 10 team with John Wall and Cousins, you knew that was never going to be another thing. That 12 team with Davis and Jones, you knew there was no part 2 to that. That 15 team, the platoon team, that would still hurt so bad because that was a one shot. I don't know if you're ever going to see 10 guys come together for the greater good of 40 wins. 2017, it took us a little while. 2017 is going to be an unsung team because they were the second best team in the. If Luke May's shot hadn't went in 2017, in my opinion, that's number 9. I say my opinion. I think a lot of people agree with that. Now, obviously, if you want to get into some eligibility issues that have arose in the last year, we can cross that bridge on another show. But this team has that. When I look at this team, when I look at these guys playing together, I realize I'll never see this nucleus of 9 guys. Even if everybody decided to come back, Reed Travis can't come back. And I think Reed Travis is a big glue guy on this. And everybody's not coming back. You're going to lose Keldon. And there'll be guys next year that replaces it. But there's just something in my heart that say, if we don't win this, like this year is important to me. This is one of those few years, and every year is important. I want to, every year we want the title. But this is those years where when you lose, if you lose and come up short, Heartbreak City. You'll be crushed. And even if you don't share that sentiment, you will. I didn't share it in 17. I didn't have it in 17. You lost in the Elite 8. That's not Cal's a Final Four championship coach. You lose in the Elite 8. You were a 2 seed. Then the game ended. And you didn't realize how good that Malik Monk shot was. You didn't realize until you saw them crying together, Bam and Fox. And then you see Bam and Fox and all of them get drafted and you see them play. And you realize once everything's done, once the smoke is settled, that Final Four wasn't that impressive. North Carolina, Oregon, Gonzaga, South Carolina, that could have easily been Kentucky. That would have been Kentucky State. This is a team that if you don't love them now, you will. And if you don't love them this season, you're going to look back and say, man, that was one of the better ones. That was one of the greats that we let slip. Next up, South Carolina, Tuesday night. That's not going to be easy. The record says that game will be easy. It's not. It's going to be a rock fight. Frank Martin gets his team together. Like I said, I'm still processing this game. Turned it on. Said, hey, this is Florida. It's on the way. I started watching the game at B-Dubs, and I was you can watch a game at B-Dubs. You can't enjoy a game at B-Dubs. B-Dubs the place you go when there's a fight you don't care about, or when the Super Bowl has two teams that you don't care about. It's just the Super Bowl. You want to see somebody be happy. You want to see somebody be miserable. Started the game at B-Dubs. Seen it. Hopped on the car. Turned the game on. Down 7. Went to halftime. Down 4. Didn't sweat it. That's how it was in Kansas game. I didn't sweat it. Second half started, I was sweating it. Got it done. I think that's something that should be said about this team. Last two tests. Kansas and Florida went into a halftime deficits, found yourself down 10, win double digits. Like I said, I just don't want to peak too soon. All right, guys. That was just my take. It's a weird take. It was a game that was my emotions never really got to sink in at one spot. They were bouncing all over the place. But hey, we got it done. I think we're 18-3 now. Excited about what the future holds for this team. If you're a fan of the content, if you're a fan of Kentucky, check us out. Thursday and Sunday, we do Big Blue Breakdown where we preview and recap whatever game. Tomorrow, got a special guest. Mike's out, so I got a special guest joining in. He's a very knowledgeable Kentucky fan, supporter. I'm excited to have him on. Hey, we did it. Got that one done. It was an ugly one. Got it done. 18-3 now. I need one more loss. Look, don't be mad at that statement. I need one more loss. I need this team to crash back on earth, preferably at Tennessee, because that one kind of makes sense. It fits in the scheme of everything. A loss at home or against Arkansas or at Missouri really just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But I'll be okay. You're absolutely right, Gabe. We got the win. I watched the game. I'm like you guys. I get tore up. I get mad. I get superstitious. We got the win. Check us out. We're coming back Tuesday, South Carolina. Frank Martin will have that team ready. I don't care. I don't think they might have. Actually, I think they're doing really good in conference. They just struggled out of conference. But that is it. Big Blue Breakdown post-game show. I'm your host, Matthew Lyle. We will be back Tuesday, win, lose, or draw versus South Carolina. Thanks for tuning in.